March 26, 2020, U.S. has reported over 1 million COVID-19 cases and 59,253 deaths.
It's not gonna happen, I already told you.
Joel, this is urgent. Have you seen the news? People are dying every day. As long as this trial works...
You're talking about a human being. I'm not gonna risk a human being's life for a goddamn cure.
This data is still growing and faster and faster.
This is not your fault.
This was a brilliant dive into the ethics behind human testing and all of the nuances that pull us in both directions when it comes to a human life and what is the value of a human life and what are we trading off for one life if it could mean the health and safety of so many. And that's the ethic debate that people are continuing to have. And I thought that this was a really great way through film to create the space for us to contemplate what is the right thing to do and what is the path that perhaps I would take. So I thought that the pacing was really well done. I thought the performances were so grounded and believable and not overblown, which I think was really important to avoid getting precious with these kind of topics so that we can contemplate the gravity of the situation.
What an emotional piece that can resonate with so many of us, not only because of its obvious connection to the worldwide pandemic, but also the moral deliberations that are occurring here. The themes of second chances and making amends and doing right, and what exactly right is can sometimes be so difficult to decipher. So these are all big themes that are handled here with such grace and sensitivity, both by the filmmakers and the wonderful actors on screen.
The opening sets up where we are in terms of COVID, the timing with the exposition given in the news reports, and we see the doctor taking the COVID test, so it lets us know where we stand within this pandemic. They're pushing for human trials, even though they aren't fully ready, and they need a subject that has not been exposed to COVID to successfully test this new cure for this new mutation. And there are some unethical ways they're going about doing this. They're testing a subject that, one, has no idea what the risks are and is not fully aware of what COVID could do, in that this could be deadly. So you have a doctor who has his own history with the disease because it killed his son. So there's a personal connection to it. And then you have this trial patient who reminds him so much of his son. There's this one instance where they have a close-up on the eyes of the patient, and then it cuts to the eyes of the son, and you can see how similar these actors look to one another. And I think this is obviously purposeful casting. And it gives us a sense of how difficult this process is for the doctor. And then I do really like that dialogue that we have between the trial patient and the doctor, where they sort of establish a relationship before he injects him. It's a really great way to bring it full circle to show the gravity of this for this doctor.
I really liked the acting first and foremost. Everybody involved was great. The main dude especially was a star, bro. Carried. I really like the concept. The whole, like, especially this is an example of a great how to do a great, like, moral dilemma, moral quandary film without it being too, like, heady or pretentious or, like, inaccessible, because it's still like because it's done in a way where it makes you think, like, what would you do in this situation? You know what I mean? And I think that draws the audience in. Also, I really like the cinematography and, like, the color scheme with, like, the whole, like, dramatic lighting without it being, like, too much.
I think that the cinematography was really good. I think that it was acted really well. I love how they kind of ended this on a cliffhanger. Beautiful, beautiful camera work too. The acting was really gripping. The story and how they told it, you were very much so invested in this. The moral dilemma was something I think that anybody could understand.
The stakes were so high, but I thought the cast played their roles with grace and subtle believability. The writing was so compelling, you could totally see this type of bioethical situation happening in the medical profession. The cinematography was very well done, with lots of great close ups for effect, and the locations were all well staged.